It Let me share something with you that might sting a little, but it's a truth you need to hear. You've probably noticed it, maybe at a coffee shop, maybe walking through the mall, maybe scrolling through social media. A young woman, radiant and full of life, walking hand in hand with a man who could easily be her father. And something twists inside you. A question forms, why him? What does he have that I don't? If you felt that frustration, you're not alone. Countless young men wrestle with this same confusion, wondering why they're being passed over despite their youth, energy, and potential. But here's what I want you to understand. This isn't just about money or status or some superficial advantage. It goes much deeper than that. What younger women often find in older men isn't material wealth, it's a set of qualities that transcend age entirely. And the transformative truth you need to grasp, you don't have to wait decades to develop these traits. You can start building them right now, today. When you hear the word stability, you might picture something boring: mortgage payments, retirement accounts, predictable routines. But that's not the stability women crave. The stability that draws them isn't external, it's internal. It's the unshakable calm of a man who genuinely knows himself and isn't rattled by every storm that comes his way. Picture two different men. The first bounces from job to job, interest to interest, mood to mood. One day he's brimming with confidence. The next he's spiraling in self-doubt. He's entertaining, maybe even exciting for a moment. But there's an undercurrent of chaos that women sense even when he's smiling. His emotions control him rather than the other way around. Now picture the second man. He enters a room without fanfare or announcement. He doesn't need to be the loudest voice or the flashiest presence. There's a groundedness to him, a centeredness that actually puts people at ease. When life throws challenges his way, and he doesn't crumble under pressure or panic in uncertainty. He processes what's happening, adapts intelligently, and moves forward with purpose. This is what genuine stability looks like. It's not about having all the answers or never facing problems. It's about being someone who can be counted on when things get difficult. And here's the reality most young men miss. Stability isn't built by time alone. It's built through discipline, consistency, and the daily choice to become more grounded. You develop this quality by creating routines that anchor your life instead of drifting through each day reactively. You build it by mastering your emotional responses rather than being swept away by every feeling. You strengthen it by keeping your word, not just to others, but especially to yourself. Because when you can't trust your own commitments, why should anyone else? Women observe how you actually live far more than they listen to what you say. If your life is in constant disarray, if you're perpetually chasing drama or running from responsibility, she won't see a potential partner. She'll see another problem to manage, another burden to carry. The man who offers true stability becomes magnetic precisely because he represents something rare in today's chaotic world. Reliability. Beyond stability lies something equally powerful: the ability to handle emotions with wisdom and strength. This is where many young men stumble badly without even realizing it. They think attraction is about physical appearance, money, or status. Those things might catch initial attention, but they never hold a woman's heart. What truly captivates her is a man's emotional maturity. Consider how many young men react when criticized. They explode defensively. When faced with difficult conversations, they shut down or lash out. When rejected, some beg desperately. Others turn bitter and angry. Every one of these reactions signals the same underlying problem: emotional instability and insecurity. A woman observes these patterns and thinks, If he can't handle his own feelings, how could he possibly handle mine? How would he handle the pressure of building a life together? Contrast that with a man who has developed emotional intelligence. He listens to criticism without immediately becoming defensive. He stays calm when tensions rise. He doesn't try to win every argument. He tries to understand the other person's perspective. Instead of constantly seeking validation, he offers genuine reassurance. This kind of presence makes a woman feel profoundly safe. And safety is one of the deepest foundations of attraction. But here's the encouraging truth. Emotional maturity isn't reserved for men with gray hair and decades of experience. It's a skill you can cultivate starting immediately. You build it every time you pause before reacting impulsively. You strengthen it when you choose patience over anger, when you control your words instead of letting them spill out recklessly. You develop it through genuine listening, not dominating conversations or proving you're right, but actually hearing what someone else is trying to communicate. Women aren't drawn to men who suppress or avoid emotions entirely. They're drawn to men who can master their emotional landscape. A man who remains steady when she's crying, confused, or afraid. A man who doesn't dismiss her feelings but also doesn't drown in them. That balance is both rare and powerful. There's something magnetic about a man who knows where he's going in life. He might not be the wealthiest person in the room or the most conventionally attractive, but if he walks with clear direction, with purpose burning in his eyes, people feel it immediately. And women are especially drawn to this quality. Younger women often gravitate toward older men because those men typically carry a developed sense of purpose. They've lived long enough to filter through distractions, to release childish fantasies, and to focus on what genuinely matters. Purpose creates structure, and that structure generates attraction naturally. A man with purpose doesn't stumble through existence treating life like one endless party. He wakes with intention each morning. He speaks with conviction. He plans with vision for the future. Now contrast that with many young men today endlessly scrolling, chasing every passing trend, living only for weekend pleasures. When a woman encounters a man without direction, she sees instability and uncertainty. She sees someone who might pull her into chaos rather than lift her towards security. The crucial insight is this: you don't have to wait until middle age to discover purpose. Purpose isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you deliberately build. It emerges when you take complete responsibility for your life. When you set meaningful goals, when you commit to something larger than your immediate desires. Your purpose might be your career, your creative craft, a calling to serve others, or a mission to create positive change. What matters is that it anchors you. And the beauty of living with purpose is that everything else aligns naturally. Your confidence gains depth. Your presence strengthens. You stop being easily distracted by every shiny temptation that passes by. Confidence is undeniably attractive, but we need to be precise about what real confidence actually looks like. It's not loud. It's not fake bravado or walking into spaces demanding everyone's attention. It's not bragging, flexing material possessions, or shouting over others. Genuine confidence is quiet and steady, a calm assurance that says, I know who I am, and I don't need external validation to prove it. This is another reason younger women are drawn to older men. Those men have lived through experiences, they've made mistakes and faced significant setbacks. They've won some battles and lost others. Through it all, they've learned they will survive whatever comes. That lived experience builds unshakable confidence. They don't chase approval because they've already faced rejection and emerged stronger. They don't pretend to be someone they're not because they're genuinely comfortable in their own skin. Here's what most young men fail to understand: you don't need to wait decades to carry that same confidence. Real confidence isn't primarily about age, it's about how you respond to your experiences. Do you run from challenges or face them directly? Do you avoid responsibility or step into it? Every time you confront life head on, you build genuine confidence. Think about this practically. When you make a promise and actually keep it, your confidence grows. When you push through fear instead of shrinking back, your confidence grows. When you look failure directly in the eye and say, this setback won't define me, your confidence grows. Confidence is constructed brick by brick through consistent actions, not empty words. Women immediately sense the difference between fake and genuine confidence. A man performing confidence comes across as arrogant, insecure, or desperate. But a man with authentic confidence carries an aura of peace. He doesn't chase, he attracts naturally. He doesn't need to boast because his presence communicates louder than any words could. Finally, there's one quality that separates men who chase from men who naturally attract patience. In our modern world where everything moves at lightning speed, instant messages, same day delivery, rapid relationships, patience feels almost ancient. But it's precisely this quality that creates magnetic power. Older men typically don't rush. They don't beg for attention. They don't chase desperately. They wait with confidence. And that patience creates an unmistakable aura of strength. Young men often fall into the trap of desperation, they wanting everything immediately. They bombard women with messages, push for commitment too quickly, or fall apart when results don't come instantly. This impatience broadcasts insecurity, and insecurity always repels attraction. But patience signals something entirely different. Patience says, I'm not desperate because I know my worth. I don't need to chase because what's meant for me will come. That quiet confidence proves intoxicating to women because it demonstrates genuine self-control. And self-control is a hallmark of true masculine strength. A patient man doesn't flinch when tested. He doesn't panic when a woman pulls back. He doesn't explode in anger when things take longer than expected. He observes carefully and acts from clarity rather than panic. That's what makes him different. That's what makes him magnetic. The liberating truth is that patience isn't about age, it's about discipline. You can start practicing it immediately. Be patient in your work, in your personal growth, in your relationships. Instead of rushing toward the next distraction, slow down deliberately. Build yourself with careful intention. When you master time, instead of being mastered by you automatically elevate yourself above the desperate crowd. So young man, if you've been wondering why some women choose older men, now you understand. It's not about the years they've lived. It's about the qualities they've developed. And every single one of these qualities is available to you right now. Start building stability through discipline. Develop emotional maturity through self-awareness. Discover your purpose through commitment. Forge confidence through experience. Cultivate patience through practice. You don't need to compete with anyone. You need to become the kind of man who no longer needs to compete because he naturally attracts what he deserves. If that journey starts today,